Hello everyone, welcome to our class. Here we are discussing the chapter Biological Classification. In previous classes we discussed features of kingdom Monera and kingdom Protista. In kingdom Protista we studied the features of chrysophytes and dinoflagellates. Again I am repeating the characters of kingdom Protista. Kingdom Protista are eukaryote. Okay, Ernst Haeckel coined the term Protista. And they are mostly unicellular, and they can be heterotropic or autotropic, then microscopic or macroscopic. Most of the organisms are live in water. Okay, then a protist is an organism that is not a plant, an animal, or a fungus. I am again repeating that the first 3 chapters in +1 biology is very tough. Very tough means all the terms are Latin or Greek origin. Okay, so you feel discomfort first time you studying that names. Okay, so write it and study the names thoroughly and properly. Don't make spelling mistake in this the scientific name of the organism. So we will discuss chrysophytes and the dinoflagellates. Next we are discussing euglenoids. Euglenoids. You heard about euglena? Okay, euglenoids, these organisms are unicellular. Unicellular means they have only one cells. Okay, unicellular, and they are flagellate. Flagellate means they have flagella. Then most of them are live in fresh water. Okay, and their body is covered by a pellicle. Body is covered by a layer. The layer name is pellicle. It is a rigid outer covering. Okay. Then they possess flagella. One short flagella and another one is the long flagella. Photosynthetic pigment, chlorophyll A and chlorophyll B are present in euglenoids. Because of this photosynthetic pigments, the euglenoids are phototropic. That means autotrophs. Okay. The reserve food in the form of starch. The reserve food in euglena is in the form of starch. Then 2 organelles, mainly the 2 organelles. The organelle is eye spot, E-Y-E, eye spot, and photoreceptor help the organism to stay near the light. Then the reproduction by cell division, the sexual reproduction is absent in euglenoids. Okay, clear. So here we are discussing the third category of the kingdom Protista. First feature is euglenoids are green unicellular algae found in fresh water, and they have the animal-like features. Okay, but animal-like features means they are not heterotropic. They are autotropic. Autotropic means they have the photosynthetic pigment. Chlorophyll A, chlorophyll B and beta carotene xanthophylls are present in them. They possess 2 flagella. One is short and the other one is long. Okay, and the body is covered by a pellicle. And they have 2 organelles. Eye spot and photoreceptor that help the organism to stay near the light. Then the reproduction by cell division, sexual reproduction is absent. Okay, then the example for this euglenoid group is first one is euglena. Your textbook having only one example, so you study only one example. Euglenoids, the example is euglena. Clear it is. Next one, slime molds. Slime molds are fungus-like protists. Fungus-like protists are slime molds. Okay. These protists are named molds as they give rise to mold-like or fungus-like spore-bearing sacs. Spore-bearing sacs are seen in the slime mold. That's why they are named as slime molds. Okay, then they are saprophytic. Saprophytic means what? Saprophytic, they just like fungus, they get food from the decayed matter, and these are heterotropic and feed on bacteria. They found in the damp soil and the animal feces and water. Cell wall is present only in spores and is formed of fungal cellulose. Only in the spore stage they are having cell wall, and they have devoid of chlorophyll. So they have no chlorophyll, so that's why they are saprophytic, that means heterotrophic. Reproduction occurs by both the asexual means and the sexual means. During the favorable condition, the slime molds are aggregate and they form a cluster. The cluster name is plasmodium. When the conditions are the unfavorable condition, from this plasmodium they differentiate into spore bearing structures. The spores are extremely resistant and survive for many years even under adverse conditions. Then air current helps the dispersal of these spores. Clear it is. Again I am repeating, what is slime molds? Slime molds are saprophytic protists. That means this is a fungus like protist. The body moves along decaying twigs and leaves engulfing organic material. Under suitable conditions, they form an aggregation known as plasmodium, which may grow and spread over several feet. When the condition is not favorable, from this plasmodium, new spores are forming. These spores possess true walls. Okay, and the spores are dispersed by the air current. So, in case of the slime molds, both the asexual reproduction and the sexual reproduction takes place. The cell wall is present only in the spore, and these organisms are devoid of, they are not present in chlorophyll, is absent in this organism. The slime molds are the example for the slime molds. The example for this slime molds, that is Dictyostelium. Dictyostelium is an example for the slime molds. Dictyostelium. Got it? Next category of kingdom protista, that is protozoans. Protozoans. So these protozoans have their own some features. These protozoans are animal-like organisms. Protozoans are animal-like organisms. I told you that this protista group have some are belongs to plant-like features, some have fungus-like features, and some have animal-like features. So protozoans is an protista group that shows animal-like features. So they are known as first animals. First animals. They exhibit protoplasmic level of organization. That means they have protoplasm. And the body is symmetrical or asymmetrical. Symmetrical means when we cut our body, when we get the equal halves, that is known as symmetrical. When we cut the organism, we didn't get any symmetry, we didn't get any equal proportion, that is known as asymmetrical. Okay. So they exhibit protoplasmic level of organization. The body is symmetrical or asymmetrical, free living or parasitic. Parasitic means they depend other organism. They may be solitary or colonial. Solitary means they live single. Okay. And the three main type of locomotory organs are pseudopodia, flagella and cilia. Locomotory organs means the organs which help them to move. Okay, that is pseudopodia, flagella and the cilia. Osmoregulation occurs with the help of contractile vacuole. So the contractile vacuoles help the organism to osmoregulation. Osmoregulation means maintain the salt and water balance in our body. That is known as osmoregulation. And the reproduction may be asexual or sexual. In case of asexual reproduction, binary fission, multiple fission and the conjugation will takes place. So these are the basic features of the group protozoan. What are the basic features? Protozoans are the first animals, animal-like organism. They exhibit protoplasmic level of organization and the body is symmetrical or asymmetrical, free living or parasitic. Okay. Then solitary or colonial. And the three main types of locomotory organelles are pseudopodia, flagella and cilia. Osmoregulation occurs with the help of contractile vacuole. Okay. Osmoregulation means the balancing the salt and water maintaining in our body. Okay. Then thus in some organisms the gaseous exchange and excretion takes place through the body surface. Gaseous exchange and the excretion takes place through the body surface. The reproduction may be asexual or the sexual means. The asexual type of reproduction method means binary fission, multiple fission and conjugation. These protozoans groups are again classified into 4 types. Amoeboid protozoan, flagellated protozoan, ciliated protozoan and sporozoan. So the protozoan group are again classified into 4 types. They are amoeboid protozoan, flagellated protozoan, ciliated protozoan and the sporozoans. Clear it is? So, amoeboid, the name indicates that the group belongs the organism amoeba. Amoeba moves with the help of pseudopodia. Okay, that you know, amoeba can change its shape very easily. Okay, because it's a single nucleus usually present, and the amoeba have no locomotory organ. They have the locomotory organ pseudopodia. Okay, the pseudopodia help the organism for the locomotion and the food capture, and they can easily change their body structure. The amoeboid organisms are free living or parasitic. Okay, and the body covered by a plasma lemma, a covering of the body that is known as plasma lemma. And the osmoregulation takes place by the contractile vacuole. Okay, in asexual reproduction, that is binary fission or the multiple fission is the asexual reproduction takes place in amoeboid protozoan. Okay, sexual reproduction is present, that is syncamy. Syncamy means fusion of nucleus, that is known as syncamy. Okay, so what are the features of this amoeboid protozoan? Amoeboid protozoan, the example that is amoeba. Okay, then what we said, it have the locomotory organ of pseudopodia. The pseudopodia help them to food capture, and body is changeable and having a single nucleus. Okay, and the body is covered by plasma lemma, and they are free living. Contractile vacuoles are present. Asexual reproduction takes place by binary fission or the multiple fission. The sexual reproduction present. Okay, the mode of sexual reproduction is syncamy. Syncamy means fusion of the nucleus. Okay, clear it is. Next we are discussing flagellated protozoan. Flagellated protozoan. So flagellated protozoan, the name indicates that they have the flagella and they are free living, parasitic, and the nutrition, the main type of nutrition, that is saprotropic. Saprotropic means they get food from the dead and decayed matter. In this flagellated group, the mode of reproduction is asexual reproduction. That means binary fission will takes place. Flagellated protozoan. Flagellated protozoan. Example for this flagellated protozoan, that is trypanosoma. Trypano, Trypanosoma. Trypanosoma. Okay, so they are flagellated. Flagellated protozoan indicate that the locomotory organs are flagella. Free living, parasitic. Okay, and the nutrition mainly saprotropic. And the asexual reproduction takes place by binary fission. The example for this group is trypanosoma. Trypanosoma causes the disease. The disease which caused by the trypanosoma protozoan. That is, you heard about this disease, sleeping sickness. Sleeping sickness. The person which are affected with the trypanosoma shows the disease trypanosoma, which shows the disease sleeping sickness. Sleeping sickness. Okay. Next one is ciliated protozoan. Ciliated. So here the name indicates that the locomotory organs are cilia. Cilia are the organelles for locomotion and also for the food capture. Aquatic and an actively moving organism. Mostly they are free living and some are parasitic. Okay. They possess a gullet to indigest the food materials, a mouth-like portion to indigest the food materials. The portion name is gullet, Gullet. Okay. Again, I am repeating the ciliated protozoan. They are the actively moving organism. The cilia are the organelles for locomotion and the food capture. They are aquatic and possess a gullet to ingest means swallowing the food materials, and mostly free living, and some are parasitic. Okay. Then the sexual reproduction takes place in this group. Example for the ciliated protozoan that are paramecium is an example for the ciliated protozoan. Paramecium. Okay. Next one, that is the last one of protozoan group is that is sporozoans. Sporozoans. Sporozoans means the spore-like stages are present in this group. Spore-like stages are present in this group. That's why they are known as sporozoans. These sporozoans causes different types of diseases both in plants and the animals. Okay. The major disease which caused by this sporozoans are malaria. You heard about malaria. The disease malaria is carried by the vector. Mosquitoes are only the vector, but the disease is caused by the microorganism sporozoan. The name of the microorganism that is Plasmodium. Plasmodium is a type of sporozoan. Okay, not get confused with this Plasmodium and the in the case of thymons they form an aggregate. That also known as Plasmodium. Here the organism's name is Plasmodium. So the Plasmodium which causes malaria. The carrier of this malarial parasite Plasmodium is mosquito. So these are the 4 types of protozoans. What are the 4 types of protozoan? Amoeboid protozoan, flagellated protozoan, ciliated protozoans and sporozoans. Clear it is?